Guys, welcome to the phase 5 of our ongoing program, Blueprint to Become a Data Analyst. We have already covered 4 phases before drilling down into today's program. We'll just have a quick discussion about that, a quick pointers about that. In phase 1, we have already covered if you want to become a data analyst, what all core foundations you need to have. We discussed about Excel, SQL, and all the basic statistics stuff. In phase 2, we discussed about the business intelligence tools, the visualization part, and how to present it properly. That is what we discussed. Then if we talk about phase 3, we discuss about the most important thing, Python, which is used in many companies. Then in phase 4, we discuss about the business understanding and the projects. If you want to become a data analyst, you need to have projects in your kitty. It's mandatory. If you do not have projects, you won't be in a position to showcase what you did. So having proper projects, we discussed that as well. And in this phase, the phase 5, we will actually discuss about the job readiness. We'll talk about resumes, interview strategies, and application strategy. So this video is going to be the very important video. If you have not watched the videos related to phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4, go ahead and watch it. So let's move into it. Job readiness. Now you have done all the hard work. You have been studying. You have been working towards becoming a data analyst. Now assume that you have a resume. Are you ready for a job? That is the question. So assume that you have worked on projects, you did all the things, you took all the learnings, and now it's the time wherein you are going in the market and looking for a job. What you should do? First of all, there are two things that you need to take care of: whether you have a personality of becoming a data analyst, and second thing is whether you have a resume of becoming a data analyst. Personality, whether you are whether you like data, whether you can play with data, whether you can sit, whether you have that analytical mind, whether you can look at different angles when it comes to data. While you work on all these projects, you will automatically build that. So working on projects is the most important thing. Now assuming that you have already worked on projects, now how resume. Now, your resume is not just a resume, it's the replica of what you did throughout your phase wherein you were trying to get a job as a data analyst. So, all those projects should be a part of your resume. Okay, so now what it is, guys? Whatever is in your resume, you should be in a position to speak on that. You should be in a position to actually live up to all those things that you have written in your resume. So only those things which you are capable of speaking in an interview and performing once you get a job, all those things should be there in your resume. Okay. One thing which I would like to talk is that people are making graphical resumes nowadays. Because let there be no decorations in your resume. Let the resume be not a graphical format. Let it be a simple resume, either in Word format really does good. That is what I can definitely say. And yes, second option would be PDF. Word format resumes really do good. Let there be no tables, no hodgepodge. Speak is not required there. So I will be sharing you a link in the after this particular session. Probably you can refer to that. I will also take you through that what I will be sharing there. Okay. So now resume, update your projects there. And how will you update the projects? See, guys, your basic intention should be that whatever you have done in your projects should reflect in your resume. If you have done something which is related to data analyst, then you should show that you have used your Python skills, Excel skills, Power Queries, Power BI, or whatever tool that you have used, and then you have cleaned the data, transformed the data. So all these things should be going in your resume. Whatever you have used when it comes to SQL, those things should also go in your resume. You can talk about joins, aggregations, Windows functions, and you can also say that what exactly you used, whether you use MySQL, PostgreSQL. You should be in a position to talk about all these things. Then if you have worked on some dashboards, what you did, what were your visualization tools, what did you use, Tableau, Power BI, Excel, what did you use for that? Then business impacts, what was your intention while making this particular resume? So all these things should go in the resume, guys. Very simple. Now I will be sharing a screen with you. Which will just showcase you about how a resume should look like. Just give me a sec. Now, just look at this. This is one of the simplest and the best formats that a person can use if they are trying to get into industry. This format works really very well. You might have heard people saying that only one page resume is required. But what if you have done 8 projects or 7 projects? What if you have done 7 good projects and you want to tell the people that you have used different multiple skills in those projects? That definitely cannot fit in one particular page. So there is a way, there is a technique how to make that. Just look at this resume. Here, first thing is objective. Then if you go down this particular section, now this should be the most important section for you. Skills acquired by working on internships or projects. If you have worked on internships, then you have to write those skills which you acquired while working on those internships. If you have worked on self-accomplished projects, you have to write those projects here. So now the important thing is internship is one of the most important things because that gives you an exposure. Actual thing wherein you can say that you have worked on an internship and that separates you from a person who has not worked on internship. And that gives you an upper hand in an interview. So it's very important. Have an internship with you. Work on internship if you have not already done. Now moving ahead. So this particular section which I have highlighted, skills acquired by working on internships, a very important project, a very important section. Now, as soon as a recruiter will look at this section, he will get the entire gist about what you have done, which all skills you should know. For an example, here you can see responsible for data analysis and interpretation using Python libraries, NumPys and Pandas. So whatever you are writing here, it should implicate what you use, what is your skill set, what you did with that skill set. Now, that is the one thing that you should do. You created some visualizations using Matplotlib, Seaborn, and Matplotlib, Seaborn. You use these libraries to create some visualizations. Similarly, if you have used some BI tools, you can say that you created respective dashboards, you used SQL. So all those things you can talk about in this particular section. If the recruiter likes this section, only then he will go ahead and have a look at your resume, because it's literally impossible for a recruiter to have a look at all the projects that you did. And this is the way of presenting. If you start presenting it in sentence format, it makes things very clear. Then if you go ahead down further, then if you have worked as an intern, which company you worked, what project. Now here is it that you will be writing all the details. Here you have written all the pointers about what all things you learned, and now here you will actually write what all things you did while working on project 1, project 2. So this gives the complete detail about what you have done when you are trying to become a data analyst. It really makes you stand out. Then now there would be again a different thing, a different section which will be like accomplishment of projects which you did in academics and self-accomplish. Okay, and you have to strategize, guys. Just putting a random project from here and there won't work. You have to properly work on the project. You have to properly pick the project. You have to do the actual work. And if you get the internship, then nothing like that. The most important thing, if you get the internship, that would be a very additional advantage. Now if you want to write something about technical skill sets, now here you can write about technical skill sets. Technical skill sets can be it can be anything, right? You worked on Python, then what all things you use. You can talk about libraries there, Matplotlib, Seaborn, NumPy, Pandas. If you are talking about Power BI, what all things you did in Power BI. Then if you talk about SQL, what all things you did in SQL, what did you use, whether you use PostgreSQL or whatever it is. So all these things, guys, if you did Excel, what you used on Excel. So when it comes to those things, short technical skills, Python, Excel, you can write about all those things. So then write your strengths here. So while working on this resume, while preparing this resume, you have to keep one thing in mind. These are different sections of your resume. The first section is objective. The second section is skills acquired while working on projects. The third section is internship. And the fourth section is projects, self-accomplished projects. You will be using the same words in different manner in all these sections. For an example, if you are writing responsible for data analysis and interpretation using Python libraries. So now you're using these words, data analysis, Python libraries, NumPys, Pandas. Similarly, you have to write these particular these particular wordings in a different formation in following sections as well. While telling the people what all actually you did, so those things will be coming here as well. By doing this, your resume will start going to the recruiter. It will clear the applicant tracking system mechanism that is being created and used. Very important thing, guys. Okay. Now, this is the stuff which I wanted to share when it comes to resume. Now we'll talk about something else. Okay, we'll talk something about interviews now. Okay, just let me stop sharing my screen. Here we go. Now, the important thing, resume, I assume that you got the basic idea about it. So as soon as you complete a project, add it to your resume, and that is what it is going to be helpful for you. Now, interview preparation, guys. See, now let's break down realistically what will be the people asking you, what will they be interesting you. So they will ask you the questions based on your resume. So if you have written that you have worked on SQL, they will ask you questions related to SQL. They will talk about inner. They will talk about left joins, inner, then group by Windows functions. They may talk about that rank subqueries. They will talk about all these things, guys. Data functions also they can talk about. So these are the few things that you should be in a position to speak. And assuming that as you have already done the projects, that you will be doing the projects, you will be in a position to talk about all these things very nicely. Then you have to practice this stuff. There are different platforms wherein SQL can be practiced, like LEET code, Lead Code SQL. It is one of the platforms. Then Scratch, SCRATCH. So there are multiple platforms practicing. Okay, if you use Excel, then basically you will be asking about, you will be asked about lookups, VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, then conditional formatting, pivot tables. So all these things you will be asked about. And having Excel knowledge is essential. It gives you that particular field, it gives you that exposure which is required to work on data. So having Excel knowledge, working on Excel is very important. Then now if you are talking about Python, what you did, guys, what you did when it comes to data cleaning, what you did, whether missing values were there, whether in duplicate values were there that you removed, then what you did, guys, what you used to do this, whether you use numpys or pandas, what all pandas operations. Then when it comes to creating a visualization, what you did, matplotlib, you use Seaborn, so simple EDA stuff. Then how did you use CSV, then JSON handling, these things will be used, guys. The most important thing, guys, you should be in a position to talk about why you used, how you use Python, and how you were able to come up it, what you were able to come, and what were your observations. Okay, then if you move ahead, then the interviewer will also be in a position, should be willing to understand, he should be curious to know what you think about the business. He may be asking you some of the relevant questions. What is KPI? What he will give you some real life situations. He may give you that. Then what is the measurement of the, how would you measure customer retention? Then different metrics. Then funnels. Probably he may ask you about all these things, guys. Okay. So whenever you appear for an interview, first of all, let your resume be well prepared. What all things you have actually done only should go in your resume, so that you should be in a position to explain them. Whatever is in your resume, you should be in a position to explain them. And once you are selected, you should be in a position to perform. And yes, being a fresher, being a beginner, they will be training you for that here and there. But yes, you should have basic foundation ready with you, or else you will struggle. Okay. So now, guys, once this is done, you need to formulate a proper strategy about which companies to apply. Do some Google stuff, do some Googling, see which all the companies are currently looking for data analysts, which are the companies who historically hire data analysts. So pick some of the companies there, start applying for those jobs, start tracking your interviews, tracking your job post in an Excel sheet, name of the company, what you applied for, whether you got the feedback back, was your interview aligned, if your interview was aligned, what was your feedback, whether you were selected, if not selected, where were your weak points, whether you were able to clear the interview well. So many things are there, guys. Okay, so talk about that as well. And before applying for an interview, before actually going for the job search, you should ensure that you know data handling well, Google Sheets, Excel. You should know this. Then querying, you should be in a position to aware you answer. You should be master of that. MySQL, PostgreSQL is being used many places. MySQL has been used from a long time. Then programming, guys, if you talk about Python is very important thing. If we talk about data analyst, Python may what you did, which libraries you did. If we talk about data analyst stuff, so visualization, what you did, guys, which BI tool you use. Did you use Power BI? Did you use Tableau? Then you have to practice all these things. From where did you get the data sets? Then you have to practice all these things on the platform like Lead Code, SQL. Okay, so once you do all these things will be very easy for you. So we have been talking about the series till now. We have covered so many phases, guys. So the intention of this series was to give you a realistic approach. People are just not able to make properly to a data analyst role. We have observed all the lacks, all the challenges that people are facing. So when you put all these phases and consistently start building toward getting a job in data analyst while working on all those projects and apply it and do it in a very disciplined manner, you will realize that maybe in 6 months of time, you will actually become a data analyst. Do it sincerely, guys. First, you need to have clarity, and you will be having clarity. You will be having skill set. You will be having proof when it comes to your project in your resume, and you will be having a proper communication because you will be confident enough to explain what you have written there in your resume. Okay, just about randomly applying and applying after having all this knowledge, it will just turn things around for you guys. Okay, so that's it. With this, we want to end this particular series, the 5 phases of what all things you should do if you want to get a job, if you want to become a data analyst. Sincerely follow this, start taking this actions on what all things we have discussed till now, and you will realize that things will just start working for you guys. Take care, guys. Have a look at all these videos. It's mandatory without fail. Take care.